Hello guys and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me, Vulcan and Val.
Hello.
Today we have another of the 3v3 Reddit tournament games, and in this one we are on Bloody Ridge, and on the blue side we have Team Eurasia with Kamran, Khan and Siladar, and over on the red side we have 6 Buratino Start with Master Moose, Chiv and Boomy. So what are your thoughts to begin with, Val?
We've not seen Bloody Ridge yet in this entire tournament, one of the games we've casted, and it's been quite a shame because this is definitely my favourite map in the entire game. So I'm really happy to see this, and these two teams have proven to be pretty good in the past, so we should have an exciting game and hopefully one that everyone can enjoy watching.
Yeah, I very much like this map as well, mainly because it allows you to play all sorts of styles. You can use helicopters to flank in this map because of the large space at the bottom of the map. We have the town between Echo and India, which is often contested, and we see a lot of infantry warfare. Then Foxtrot, which is the middle sector in the map, is the contested one, and you'll see a lot of tank engagements over there. And then at the top side, sometimes you'll see like recon units skirmishing in those mountains. So quite a diverse map, and definitely a very fun one to play. So what sort of decks are we looking at?
So let's start over by the blue side. So Khan over here is running a Scandinavian deck, I think. Let's check. Yep. Khan. We have seen a Scandinavian deck in the past, and I believe they won that game. It was the blue side on Paddy Field a few games ago. But anyway, so we have Khan on the Scandinavians, Siladar with a Eurocore deck, very strong, and probably the deck we've seen the most, along with the NORAD deck from NATO. And speaking of NORAD, it looks like Kamran is playing a NORAD deck. He's got his Atacams there and his trusty Leopard C2 Maxuses. So let's move over to the red team. So we'll start with Commander Boomy in the top. He has a Soviet Korean deck. He's got a Soviet units and a very mighty T90S there. If we come down slightly, let's have a look over at Shiv. Looks like he's going to the middle sector. He is just running a standard Soviet deck, I think, although could be the potential for Soviet Korean. And again, the same with Master Moose at the bottom here, who's got his trusty Soviet deck.
Yeah. So some pretty big units at the start. We got Buratino heading down to the bottom side from Master Moose. I think that's a very good choice, especially considering it's going to be infantry warfare. A lot of tanks heading to the middle from Chiv, and he's going to get those two T-72B1s rolling. But a quick air engagement at the start, the MiG-25 PD coming out on top against the F-16. And this Phantom 2 from Kamran going to leave a lovely napalm strike at the start.
We haven't really seen this much in the entire tournament. There's not been that many opening napalm strikes like the one we've seen there. But that was quite a sad loss for the red team, because I believe they lost a 160 point interceptor to the F-16C.
Yeah, on the blue side.
Yeah, to the 90 point and very, very effective MiG-25 PDs.
Yep. So I think what looks like happening is Chiv is sending his infantry with Master Moose in order to attack the town, and then he's probably going to be using his tanks towards the middle. Then we're going to see Boomy capture the top side of the map at Charlie, leave some recon there, because generally the contention between Charlie and Golf isn't very much. But yeah, Foxtrot looks like that's between Boomy and Chiv, although Chiv's tanks are now coming towards the town as well, so maybe a little change of strategy there at the start of the game.
It's a very cheeky Mars strike, I think, from the blue team that just nearly hit the Buratino over near Echo that would come in, but we'll leave that now because it looks like the two infantry forces are meeting each other, and the blue team looks like they have a lot more.
Yeah, they've already got most of their troops deployed in the town. They're using the wonderful Stormer squads that the Scandinavians have access to. The Volkskamjägers taking care of the BTR-90s very, very quickly with the help of the Panzerbills. We've also see on the top side the Leopard C2 Mexes engaging more APCs, although they're likely to be picked off by the T-72BU and the T-72B1s if they're not too careful. But I'm pretty sure blue team's going to get full control of this town. The Spetsnaz just being overwhelmed at the moment by the superior numbers of the blue side.
Well, this is quite interesting what's going on now, because it seems like both teams are ceding control of the two flanks of the town to the other team. So Khan has two very heavy STRV 121s, so the Swedish Leopard variant, and instead bringing them up to engage Shiv's tank force, he's bringing them instead round, which could end up going well if he can cut off the reinforcements from Echo.
Well, nice kills from that Rover RBS there to take down the KA-50 Akula. Buratino now playing its part. Now, because that was delayed, I think that's really what cost the red side the town. Because if that Buratino had come in earlier and panicked a lot of the Stormers, the Spetsnaz would have been way more effective. And now we can see the Su-24 actually stunned by the Patriot. Is the second shot going to land? Yes, it is. So Su-24 gone down. We did see earlier the Tornado ECR came in and took out a couple of really valuable units for blue side. So not actually much radar AA at the moment for red side, except from the Tunguska M brought in by Master Moose there.
An STRV 121 going down to that MiG-27, although I think the Patriot's going to see that off. The Patriot is, it's something you always have to account for in these games, that if someone's playing blue, they'll probably have a Patriot.
Yeah, it's nice to see on that NORAD deck, although the Patriot's out of ammo now, so it's not going to be able to take care of the second MiG-27. And did that just take out the second? No, it didn't. STRV-121 was microed into the forest there, so managed to get away with that. The automatic not quite taking down the MiG-27, although it had a good try.
Well, the automatic was actually had the radar off until the plane was nearly out of range, so if they'd have turned their radar on a little bit faster, they would have had that plane down, I think.
Yeah, some VDV sneaking into the top side of this town, although I'm pretty sure the Stormers will see them off without the fire support from the red side. It seems like the T-72B1 is out of line of sight. Did you see what happened to the T-72BU?
I didn't know. It could have been a number of things. There's been a Viggen coming to and fro so far. It could have been a side shot from the Laro 2, the Laro Toe 2 of Khan down on the bottom side of the town.
Oh, look at that, the T-72B1 going down now to that Viggen as well. So wonderful strikes coming in there, allowing them a lot of room into Echo. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the blue side take advantage of that. That Igloren squad's going to get wiped out by the Abrams. And then they get control of that forest, which is incredibly important for contesting Echo early on.
Yeah, the blue team has done a fantastic job of just killing some of those high point units. The red team has pretty much nothing left in this sector, and only a few infantry units on the way to help.
On the MiG-27 managing to take out the STRV-121, but the KA-52 with the anti-radar missiles took out the automatic that shot down the Mi-27.
Yeah, it was quite a nice sort of pick-off, but it's slightly risky from Master Moose because there is that RBS-90 there. Luckily for him, though, it's run out of ammo.
Yeah, that is the thing about that. They do fire incredibly quickly with those twin RBSs, so that has run out of ammunition, much like the Patriot has. He's only just got a hemped up Camran to resupply that Patriot, so it's been offline for quite a while now. MiG-25 PD's coming in, and they're playing a bit risky, flying right over the middle of the blue side forces, but kind of exposing that there's not really much radar AA over Hotel.
Yep, definitely so. It's always it's always interesting, even if you're a team member and you think, oh, my plane's dead, there's no way it's getting out of this, but then you find out, to your fortuitous luck, that there's actually no AA there. So a beautiful napalm strike from the blue team coming in the Foxtrot.
Yeah, that was really nice. The Mirages both got out alive. A Draken came in from the blue side as well and did a massive bombing strike onto some VDV and Echo. So red side's really lacking forces in Echo, and you'll be interested to see if blue side notices and tries to take advantage of that. Although on this map, something that you have to consider is that the reinforcement points are incredibly far away from the front lines. So there is a bit of a delay in taking advantage of opportunities like that.
Yeah, there really is. So, in a way, it makes me slightly surprised that the blue team hasn't pushed this advantage slightly further in the bottom sector. But again, this, the old war game, fog of war. You never really know what your opponent has, and it makes you quite wary to actually send your units in.
Yeah, you can see that just by the fact that Viggen came in and just cluster bombed the forest where there wasn't a single unit. They don't know what is there right now because they don't have the recon to show it. And that's something that actually is lacking in the bottom side.
Well, they did have quite a bit to start with, but one of the things that they did do, which is a slight problem, is that they brought in kind of combat recon, if you will, if you know what I mean by that, like the lab scouts and the panzer bills. So even though they are very effective in combat, you do always end up with the risk that you're going to lose them. Although a nice kill by the red team onto that M1A1 up in Echo.
The T-64BV paying off there by getting that kill onto the M1A1. But the Fullscreen Jaegers, if they get in range, that T-64BV is going to have a hard time. So rightly so, Shiv is moving that back at the moment. Another LAV-25 scout coming in. That should reveal a few units as it gets closer to the tree line and should give the blue side a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, I think just these LAV scouts are brilliant units, although this one's gone a bit close to that BDV unit, unfortunately. But yeah, they have a very good gun for the point cost as well, so they're very effective anti-transport vehicles as well as recon.
Yep. So in this one at the moment, if we look at the conquest points, Team Eurasia does have the lead so far with the 61 points, but it is currently tied in terms of incoming conquest points, mainly due to the fact that the red side is controlling Foxtrot completely, and then Echo hasn't been captured by the red side. There's no CV there, so they could be at a +1 lead at the moment on the red side, although it's likely that if they put a CV in there, it would be targeted heavily by the blue team. Tornado ECR there going down though to the MiG-23 MLD. So that's a very nice kill.
Yeah, very high point units just gone down. It looks like the blue team is sending in some of these M163 CSs, one of my favourite units, with the Vulcan minigun on. 20 points, absolutely kills infantry.
Oh, look at that, the Hornet kill onto the Buratino, wonderful strike. I think the blue side Viggen went down and that Hornet actually paid for that from the MiG-25 PD taking it out. But those CSs now coming into the tree line and stunning the BDV. That's going to wipe out that infantry squad for sure. Leopard C2 goes down in the field against the T-72B1, which was microed over the top of the hill. BTR-70 actually going to get the kill onto that CS with the Vulcan minigun, mainly due to the fact that the carrier doesn't actually have much armor.
Yeah, it's very light, and the BTR does have an AP value to it. Some artillery coming in now. A Nona, very powerful Soviet mortar, giving a few problems to that Avenger and the command they've put into there. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if it actually manages to hit the CV, although I don't think it will kill it. These FSK in the bottom side of Echo, they didn't have much luck in killing the BTR ATA with the Eric's missile, but there we go, just managed to pick it off before the FSK were wiped out. But with only 3 men left, that Spetsnaz squad is in a good place to wipe those out.
Yeah, I think the right decision now is just to try and pull that back and resupply it, because they are very expensive infantry units at 30 points a pop.
Yeah, a point I want to make is that these Spetsnaz that are actually in that forest, Master Moose has turned off their machine gun. And the reason he's done that is so that A, they don't reveal themselves from range, and B, so that if they get into range of infantry, they only use their napalm launcher and not their machine gun, because I don't think they can use both at the same time.
I'm not entirely sure. I think they can, but I honestly haven't really paid attention to that in the past.
Well, I don't think the machine gun can fire whilst the napalm rocket is being aimed. Like if you look at the Spetsnaz in the top side of the map now, they're using their RPK-74s instead of the Rice napalm launcher.
Oh, I think that's because they're moving though.
Ah,
We'll have a look.
could be. But either way, that strike stopped very effectively by that wonderful napalm strike across there. And that means that the Spetsnaz Gru and the VDV have nowhere to run, and therefore are moved down into the forest so that they remain alive for the time being.
These Jaegers are so strong with those MG3s that despite their low point cost at 10 points a unit, they just absolutely mow down enemy infantry, in an open space.
Yeah, they are fantastic defensive infantry, mainly due to the fact they are so cheap. And yeah, the MG3, like you said, is probably one of the strongest machine guns in the game.
I think it is. I don't think there's two ways about it. If you read the Wargame subreddit, there's a lot of threads every so often about people being quite upset by the Jaegers and the MG3, but still, if it's in the game, why not use it? Excellent unit.
I think it's just one of those units that really helps balance blue versus red. And it's nice to see actually blue coming out at an advantage at the moment with the +1 lead against a red side team, because red 4's been very dominant through this tournament so far. So yeah, it's nice to see blue 4 actually making a difference in this game.
Yeah, definitely so. It's quite interesting if you just take a look up at Golf and Charlie. This attack is really all of their stuff. There's only just the Command CV and Charlie, so they do have to be careful. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but if they sent some scout infantry over the mountains, that could be a very dead CV.
Yeah, but the blue side, I don't know. The blue side's focusing a lot in Echo. I think they're just trying to reinforce that as much as possible so that they can cement that +1 lead, because it's going to be incredibly hard for the red side to push from Foxtrot to Hotel. They can't really push from Foxtrot to India or like come behind, because they need to use their units to defend from the blue sides moving even further. So a lot of their tanks are sitting at the bottom, just at the top side of Echo. You've got the T-64BV there, the T-72B1, some Spetsnaz Gru and a couple of VDV squads. So some quite valuable units just sitting down there. Looks like they're waiting to sort of push back into Echo at this point, just getting a few more reinforcements into place as the BTRDs arrive.
Well, it's all about the pressure game. Because the blue side has just done such a wonderful job of pushing into Echo, the red team just has to respond. And they have a lot of units here. I mean, if they support this properly with smokes, artillery, and airstrikes, they could probably get a foothold back into Echo if they play their hand right.
Yeah, definitely. I think they have a good opportunity here to just quickly wipe out whatever's in this sector, because it's not very well reinforced at the moment. And they only have the STRV-121 there, so the tanks should be able to take care of that, especially with the VDV-90s, with their high AP power heat rockets. So, yeah. Some LAV-Ms though, from Camran. They all provide some nice fire support as this push comes in.
There is actually an M1A1 HC Abrams by Camran just on the edge of Echo, but otherwise, yeah, very nice mortar strike. We've seen some hit and miss mortars. If that pun was fully intended, by the way, but hit and miss mortars this tournament. Some people have had extremely good games with them. Pattern and Random on that Jungle Law game, absolutely brilliant mortar use. It's one of the ones that I remember more. And it really can make or break how you attack or defend. So very nice to see orange mortars being brought in.
Yeah, these Canadian Airborne at the bottom side of Echo making some ground right now. Managed to wipe out a squad pretty quickly, and now are moving on the vulnerable BTR-90, T-64BV-1 and the Tunguska M. Also the Nona in there as well. So all of those units have to be very careful, although the Su-24M coming in to try and bomb those out. Oh, lovely strike. I didn't actually expect that to do that much damage because it looked a bit off target, but one bomb landed straight in the middle of the two squads, and that means that the point-blank Nona fire is going to help take that out with the BTR-90s.
Buratino Start coming right onto the CV and the STVR-121 at the top side of Echo. Again, I have to say, I am very disappointed, Lewis. This team is called 6 Buratino Start, but didn't start with 6 Buratinos.
Oh, shameful. But the
Shameful.
MiG-27 there going down, and the M1A1 HC Abrams stayed alive, so favourable trade. Did that B5 drop its bomb? Yes, it did, and it took out both the Gravaman squads. So, yeah, it looks like Khan was a bit worried that that would hit his CV, but it didn't. But with that massive Buratino strike into the top of Echo, it looks like the push is coming in now. The T-72B1's moving over the ridge with the T-64BB. Although that Abrams just got a massive shot onto the side of that T-72B1, so that's going to have to be retreated. So they're pretty much one tank down right now. Those Volksgemjägers, if they can get into a good position, like just above the town, then those tanks are also going to have a hard time. But plenty of VDV and infantry coming in there at the moment, and combined airstrikes also arriving. MiG-25 PD going down, Su-24 going down.
Well, those two MiG-27s just missing though. They were mismicroed very, very heavily there. The Abrams does still go down to the power of numbers, but I believe that took out 2 enemy tanks, didn't it? Or was it just the one?
I think it only killed one, but it damaged the other T-72B1 very, a lot. I'll just say.
Yeah, that is just behind it, getting resupplied now, I think.
These are LAVMs doing a nice job of panicking these VDV-90 as the Volksgemjägers engage. And the Volksgemjägers do have their own version of the MG3, which is the CQC version. And they do have incredibly accurate rifles with a 60% accuracy. So when they are stationary, those VDV are going to have a very, very hard time with only 45% accuracy in comparison. Also, the Volksgemjägers, well, they're all shock actually, those infantry units. So that doesn't change much there. Leopard C2 Mexes coming up with some fire support. Another plane going down as well for the red side, was that?
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, never mind, it's a Hornet.
Oh, okay.
That must have tried to take out a tank. Yeah, it looks like that went down anyway. But the mortars again coming in to support these Volksgemjägers. Volksgemjägers winning out this time round, and a lovely bombing strike coming in, and the plane escaping at the same time. So far, this push has been effective enough to stop the bleeding of the conquest points, but they haven't gained all the ground they need just yet.
They haven't, no, and also these two Akulas are running rampant down, or the Akula and the K-52. There was one RBS anti-air vehicle, but unfortunately it got taken down. It only had one missile. It hit the K-52 and then got taken out by the regular Akula.
Yeah, so B5 coming in there, cleaning up a lot of the units in the top side of Echo. Patriot was turned off to stop it being killed by the Su-24s, so that allowed the B5 to get that run in free. That Ka-50 and Ka-52 combo is incredibly potent, so it's nice to see them use that and take advantage of the exceptional recon there. Now these Volksgemjägers might get a chance to kill the T-72B1, and they definitely do. Might get a second one.
They might do. It's it actually looked quite bleak, because I remember you said you said that it looked like the oh, nice kill. You said that the red team might not actually take over the sector, but they did a very good job. But unfortunately, these Volksgemjäger 90 exceptionally good units, and managed to clear out that forest quite effectively.
Yeah, in the top side, a MiG-27 went down trying to snipe a unit. Su-24 also goes down for the red side. So another couple aircraft lost for the red side, although the Su-24 did take out a Roland 3. Now we've got the F-16C Block 52 with its extremely long-range AMRAAM missiles. That's going to take out an Akula, was that?
It killed the K-52, but then gets traded back by the Tunguska and the 25 PD.
Yeah, not quite worth it there. But either way, the blue side making ground back into Echo again. So looks like they're just starting again. They've got the command in there relatively quickly, and they're just continuing their +1 lead at this point, which is a really good way to cement their lead at this point, because being 200 points ahead is something that's going to be very hard for the red side to recover from.
It is. They're certainly trying though. They're bringing in some more units, hoping to push across, but there is an absolute ton of Jaegers in that forest. So without some B5s or MiG-25, 24Ms, should I say, I think that might be quite difficult to clear out.
Yeah, we got a few airstrikes coming in, a couple of MiG-25 PDs, a MiG-27 in there, trying to take out some heavier units. MiG-25 BM manages to kill off something. It looks like an automatic, but does go down in return.
Honestly, that seemed relatively even in points, I think, because the Patriot nicely microed there finishes off the BM, which is 150 points, I think, a very expensive plane.
Yeah, you got to be careful though, especially on the red side. They need to be careful that they don't lose all their seed, because they've already lost quite a lot of their Su-24s, and they've just lost that MiG-25 BM, and that's going to really affect their capability to bomb, basically, because they do have the B5 in play still, and I'm pretty sure they'll be wanting to use that again at some point, although a Nighthawk coming in to try and prevent this push, that might get a lot of kills. Oh my lord, that was beautiful. 2 VDV squads and the Spetsnaz squad go down to that Nighthawk, and that's just going to kill that push. These Jaegers should be able to hold on with the fire support coming in. Although the T-64BV there just picking off a Kyler.
Yeah, it looks like they're definitely not giving up yet, but that was an excellent Nighthawk bombing strike. Really, really, really powerful against pretty much everything, actually. The Nighthawk is definitely one of the best bombers in the game.
Yeah, I'd like to see these mortars actually attack the Spetsnaz while they're sort of held down by the Jaeger squads. I think that would be the best way to deal with this right now, because that allowed the VDV to catch up. And now the mortar's coming in a little bit too late, because the Jaegers are already dead, and they're probably going to get overrun pretty quickly.
Yep. Luckily for the blue team, the CV is a tank CV. A very nice. Well, I'm not even going to try and say that. It's just a 103B.
Yeah, it's just an STRV.
Yeah. The command version of the very good mid-tier Swedish tank. We're going to have to pull it out, unfortunately, even though that was a disgustingly good bombing strike. An artillery.
Oh, the Eagle came in as well. The Deagle. And finished off the last infantry squad, although that wasn't quite worth it. Those 4 1,000 kilogram bombs could have definitely been used better off somewhere else, I think, later in the game.
The blue team has to be very, very careful here, because I think there is still enough time in the game. If the red team does secure a hold of Echo and put a CV into it, they can still win with the points lead gained from Foxtrot.
Yeah, it'll be quite a drag, but it's definitely possible. That mortar fire actually doing quite a lot of damage to that T-72B1 because it's directly on target.
Very cheeky CV put into Foxtrot by Camran. I'm not sure that'll survive for very long, but actually it might do with the Kyler fire support. But
yeah, we've also got the mortars coming in as well. Should manage to kill off that Gru squad before they kill the TACOM.
They've still realised it's not quite going to work.
Oh, the Patriot, is it going to go down to the Su-24? No, it's not. Wow. Just got away with that one. Su-24 flying very, very deep into enemy territory and managing to get away with that one. Not quite like the Russian bomber, eh?
Wow.
Current affairs, right.
Current affairs.
These Jaegers are being covered by smoke. Look at that. They're going to be moving into Foxtrot and engaging the VDV. That shouldn't last too long, but it does allow the TACOM squad to get into Foxtrot and contest that, which is something that is very good for the blue side at the moment. Also, if they manage to get a foothold back into Echo, then it's likely that they'll be able to +2 lead if they stop that T-80 UK capping in the backside.
Yeah, very hard to kill though, because they actually, I say that, they do have an Atacams. back in base, and that will one-shot a T80 UK. If they can find it, then they can kill it, I think.
Well, wonderful use of that MiG-25 PD to take down the Viggen there, although the Viggen did manage to pick off the T90S.
That was just again proving why the Viggen is the best cluster bomber in the game. The AP is so high for a cluster bomber that it'll do things like that to your very expensive tank.
Oh, I love that use there. The Eric's squads from Camran, the Canadian squads, which basically just have the Eric's missile. They were using them to kill the Spetsnaz very, very quickly. That was awesome. They also had the fire support of the M2A2 Bradleys and a lot of FSK. Those FSK being elite infantry, going to do a lot of damage. Although this Su-24M has managed to drop its bombs onto a lot of that infantry, and oh my god. These bombing strikes are just painful to watch because that was a ton of infantry there being absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for the blue team, quite a bit of it still managed to survive, but it's all completely panicked, and there's not really enough there. So if the red team does try to push, they might be able to regain it. But actually, no, it looks like they're bringing some reinforcements in now. There's a massive smoke screen going down.
Yeah, I think that's trying to cover the advance of the command vehicle. But in the meantime, in the middle sector, we saw, I think the Buratino managed to pick off the TACOM squad, and the blue team was actually at a +1 lead for a while, so they've made 59 points on their side. Things still pretty close in this game, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. The red team did do a very good job of getting into Foxtrot earlier in the game, but because of all the pressure the blue team's been exerting in Echo, they've kind of lapsed slightly in their defence because all these points have gone to trying to retake it. So that's given the blue team an opportunity to start sneaking in units.
Oh, look at this top side. We've got a B5 coming in and bombing the town. MI8 MTV already stunned though. And that B5 probably will get out, but it has managed to land a nice bomb onto the edge of the town, which is now completely undefended, and it's going to allow these BTR-90s to get infantry up into a very nice location. Those BTR-90s also with those grenade launchers doing a lot of damage to the Gvarman.
Oh no! They didn't unload fast enough.
Really, really nice job to get those Motorstrelki into the town. And the Phantom 2 way too late and also goes down to the MiG-25 PDs in the Tunguska M.
Yeah, very a nice move. Sometimes, you know, this sort of 1-2 punch where you bomb out people on the edge and then rush in transports. The transports don't survive for very long, but you do manage to get yourself a hold in the town. But then again, there are these Fallschirmjäger 90 infantry units who will just absolutely destroy Motorstrelki.
Yeah, those Volksgemega 90s are going to do a hell of a lot of damage to the Motorstrelkis, especially if they're taken out of the sector there. We do have VDV 90 joining the fight from those BTRDs, so maybe they can hold up better against the Volksgemegers, but they didn't take a single point of damage there from those Motorstrelki.
They didn't. I think you have to remember as well, all these infantry units panicked because their vehicles were destroyed just as they got out. So the vehicles, when you destroy a vehicle next to an infantry squad, it does explode and can do damage, and in this case, did morale damage to the units. And those VDV as well had to drive straight through napalm, so they're panicked too. An easy picking for the Fallschirmjäger 90.
And one of Chiv's MiG-25 PDs finally went down in the middle side, and while that skirmish is going on at the top, the red sides managed to push blue out of Echo once again.
They pushed them out of Echo, but this is a big tank force coming from the right hand side. Those Swedish tanks.
Yeah, the STRV 103Ds with massive rate of fire. 15 rounds per minute is incredible. And they definitely take out infantry squads very quickly and also do a lot of damage to tanks that are unsuspecting.
While this has been going on as well, they've brought an armoured CV. Celadar's brought an armoured CV into Foxtrot and has just cemented his hold slightly more, but the red team's still really relentlessly pushing on the top side. They're not giving up anytime soon.
Yeah, there's a nice sort of trade going on. It's good to see that Blue's sort of managing to keep a interest in Foxtrot and manage to get that AMX in there when they're being pushed out of Echo, because it means that The +1 lead that the red side should be getting is just not happening. But look at this top side now. Spetsnaz now arriving. With the Spetsnaz GRU, the fullscreen Jaegers can only hold so long, but they've been reinforced by Canadian Airborne and Stormers, with those Canadian Airborne taken out very, very quickly as they get stuck on the road. Panzer Grenadiers with the Marder 2 arrived, and that Marder 2 should be able to help take out the BTR-80A support. A wonderful Atacam strike comes in and picks off the Tunguska M. So that was very good. But yeah, the infantry engagement is just going to continue here, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I think at the moment it looks like the blue team may have a small advantage, because they do have this Marder 2 here, just taking down that T-64 as well. But we'll have to see how this goes. This could still go either way, really.
Su-24M coming in. Yeah, that's going to land a wonderful bombing strike onto the CV, I think. CV dodged out. That was wonderful. But one of the supply vehicles going down. The Marder 2's managed to survive the bombing strike as well, so that's actually quite important. The infantry in there will be very useful in order to defend. We've got to be careful of these KA coming in behind India. If they find the command, then that's going to be a problem, but both of them shot down by the automatics and the chaparrals, so some very expensive helicopters going down there, and it seems that the red side are definitely getting desperate to make a difference in this game.
Yeah, I was definitely just about to say that. It really is a desperation play when you send the two most expensive helicopters that Red 4 even has, and just send them unaccompanied round the back where you know they have a lot of air defence. They have got a 1-point lead though. They've put a command tank into Gulf. A very good job of that. A bomber coming in just now as well. Get out, I think.
Yeah, the Su-24M. Bit of a preemptive strike there onto the infantry reinforcing. I think it was just trying to guess where the command unit was. But either way, it did still hit something. But that was a very nice command tank coming in there from Master Moose. That T-72K1, just what they need in order to push for a +1 lead at this point in the game. Fighting Falcon coming in though with the two 1,000 kilogram bombs. That's probably one of my favourite aircraft in the game actually. Does land directly on top of the T-72, but wasn't quite taken out. I think that's going to be down to the Canadian Airborne to do that.
Yeah, they have to be careful. They don't have much infantry left. Just these two BTR-90s with Motostoke 90 and the remains of a Spetsnaz squad. I think the blue team is going to regain this. They've just taken the CV down.
Yeah, the +1 lead will continue. That T-72B1 won't last much longer after those Motostoke are dealt with. Panzer Grenadier is going to jump forward there and take that out. That T-80 UK coming in from Boomy is probably going to be forced away from the town. And the reason I think that the blue side have managed to hold off this push is because their reinforcement point is much closer on this side. So they're having a much easier time of actually getting infantry into the town and fighting back against the red side infantry.
That's true. I think as well the red side invested quite a bit in some tank support, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's never a bad idea to have some good tank support, but it unfortunately didn't really pay off for them. I think they need to spend some more on sort of cheaper infantry to just get into the town. Like some Yokudays I think would be really well suited there.
Yeah, 3 Mi-24Vs were sent up the centre there, and it looks like that's going to be surrender vote from the red side. They're going to forfeit this game after 36 minutes and 3 seconds. So a jolly good game there. You can see the kills to losses, 9,693 in favour of the blue team to 8,800 losses. So every player on their team coming out with a positive kill death, which is very nice to see.
Yeah, but you have to have a look at Shiv on the other team though. He's despite losing, still 1,600 points positive, so very well managed with his units. I'd like to just a bit of a random point, but something we just missed because of the surrender vote. So you know on the bottom side where the town is, and this is something that I don't see a lot of people think about. And you saw the CV from the blue team kept being put into that forest. But near the end of the game, they also moved an infantry CV because the town, one of the town blocks, is in that left-hand sector. So they moved an infantry CV in there, and that's just something that I wanted to comment on, but we sort of missed because of the surrenders. That is a really nice place to put a CV because no one seems to expect it. Everyone always thinks it's in that forest, obviously assuming you hold the forest.
Yeah, well, they had been using the tank CV there for the entire game, so that's, it's a logical conclusion to make. But yeah, double CVs are always a good idea, especially in highly contested sectors, because then you're not going to lose that +1 lead as easily. Now, red side did have a very good chance to bring it back at the end of the game there, but blue side did just as well to defend, I think, and that's why the game ended as it did. And I think the red side realised that because there was only 5 minutes left on the clock, that they didn't have enough time to win the game after the majority of their sort of desperation plays with the KAs and the MI24s actually failed. So yeah, it was good to see that outcome anyway, and really nice to see a blue 4 team win the game.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a definite majority of red 4 in this tournament, so it's always nice when blue 4 comes through and manages to win. I think the blue team just played really, really well. They had some great micro. Not to discount the red team, they played well too individually, but the blue team just seemed to do everything better. They were more on point with their radar. There was a point in the game when the red team, so someone sent 2 MiG-27s over it, and neither of them targeted anything. And so mistakes like that just seemed to add up, and the blue team capitalized quite well when they first took over Echo. But they had the right idea at the end of the game. When you're in those sorts of situations and you need to make a desperation play, going for that 2-point sector is always more worthwhile. Potentially, it might have been a better idea to invest a bit more in that and maybe let a bit more of the 1-point sector go, just because they nearly took the town. If they'd have had a bit more infantry, I think they would have been able to actually cement a hold there. But either way, they didn't do it, and the blue team won, so congrats to them.
Yeah, and I think that pretty much sums it up. So we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.